वेलकम टू मेरा संगीत पॉडकास्ट। आज के पॉडकास्ट में हम आपको वॉशिंगटन डीसी लिए चलेंगे। यहाँ से हमें ज्वाइन इन कर रहे हैं एमिनेंट लॉयर on immigration, Mr. Rajiv S Khanna. Welcome to the show, Rajivji. And now we do have some queries here. The first one here says, I have my IELTS, which is expiring very soon this month, but I'm coming to the United States in September. Will it affect during my immigration in the United States? Do I have to retake it?
There is no requirement of this exam in the United States immigration. Not that I know of. Never heard of it.
So Rajivji, another query here is, my son is pursuing his day 1 CPT while maintaining a full-time job. His F1 visa expired. How to renew it without leaving the United States?
You cannot. Not without leaving USA. You can't renew your visa within USA. Right, and take your chances. I think you're not coming back if you do. It's very unlikely. I mean, it could happen if you are in a very good university and you have a steady progression in your career. Maybe you can convince the consulates. But consulates are suspicious of people who are spending a lot of time in USA on day 1 CPT type situations.
Now the query here, Rajivji, is I am on STEM OPT and I am a full-time software developer. I'll be traveling to India in another few weeks. Thereafter, I'll have 7 months of F1 STEM OPT left. Will I have a problem?
No, just make sure that you get your I-20 endorsed for travel and make sure that you carry pay stubs and proof that you have a job that you're coming back to, that you have been doing.
So राजीव जी के साथ ये मुलाकात बिल्कुल जारी है, रही बिल्कुल आप हमारे साथ ट्यून इन। और चलिए अब मैं आपको कुछ खास बता देती हूँ, स्पेशली हमारे वो लिसनर्स जो बॉस्टन में रहते हैं। अब आपके बिल्कुल नजदीक यानी बॉस्टन में ही खुल चुका है तनिष्क। सो जब तक आप कर रहे हैं एक विजिट को प्लान, पहुंच सकते हैं आप tanishq.com पर ज्यादा जानकारी के लिए। और अब शो चैट एंजॉय में जरा आगे बढ़ा जाए। इमिग्रेशन पर राजू जी से कुछ और सवाल पूछते चलते हैं। राजू जी, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, आई हैव H1B but I have a query here. Can I work through L1A visa at the same time when my H1B status is active?
No, you cannot paint yourself black and white at the same time.
आपको बता दूं कि अगर आप राजू जी तक पहुंचना चाहते हैं अपने कोई भी इमिग्रेशन सवालों के साथ, kanwal@merasangeet.com पर लिख के यहाँ रिकॉर्ड करके आप अपने सवाल पहुंचा सकते हैं। चलिए शो में आगे बढ़ा जाए। So राजू जी, among the frequently asked questions, one more frequently asked question is about EB1C. So the question is, who has to pay? For example, the I-145 EB, is it the employer or the employee? The attorney's fee for I-140. For I-485 for the filing fee, I-485 attorney's fee.
So the answer is, unlike PALM-based green cards, there is no requirement for the employer to pay. There is no requirement for the employer to pay. However, there could be one exception. What if you are in the United States on H1B and they are doing your EB1C? That can be done. Then there could be some argument. I would have to have a very clear conversation with the employer and the employee. There is some argument that maybe the employer should pay for everything because it is their usual business expense. So in the L1 context, there is no requirement for the employer to pay even a dime of any expense. But in the H1B context, if you are being converted to EB1C, maybe there is some argument. Okay.
So the next question, Rajiv ji, is, can too many parking tickets affect green card or citizenship?
Can too many parking tickets affect green card or citizenship? So parking tickets is not an issue because parking tickets is simply you parked in the wrong place. But if you have moving violations, speeding, reckless driving, those could have issues. Even if you had no reckless driving, which could be criminal, if you just had traffic violations and they are moving violations, for naturalization, green card, I don't think it should be a problem. But for naturalization, sometimes that becomes an issue of good moral character. So believe it or not, that could be a problem. Okay.
All right.
So, but parking violations are zero issue as far as I can see.
Okay. So Rajivji, another question here is, a child is born in the United States, then the parents go back to India and they take the child with them. She grows up in India, or for that matter, he grows up in India, and then they want to come back to study in the United States. Now, when he or she turns 21, can he or she apply for the parents' green cards?
And the answer is absolutely. And there are a couple of issues. One is she must be domiciled in the United States by the time they get their green card interview. She already will be. She'll be in USA, domiciled here. Second issue is the ability to support the parents. And that's where things could be handled one of the two ways. They could either get a co-sponsor who's a green card holder or US citizen, doesn't have to be related, or they could try to set up their own assets as a part of the public charge issue, the ability to support, So, but can the child turning 21 apply for their parents? Absolutely no problem.
Okay. So Rajivji, another question here is, what are the qualifications to be an international manager?
So basic idea is that there's a multinational company with a branch at least in more than one country. So let's say there is a small company with 50 employees in India and 10 employees in USA. Can they do an EB1C? And the answer is theoretically at least yes. Because you have two companies, the companies should be related to each other through equity interlocking. One company owns the other, both are owned by a third company, etc. So the employee being transferred is a senior person. All these, when they exist, you can potentially qualify. There are more points in this, more factors in this, but that's the bottom line. Okay.
So that's pretty much explained in detail. In fact, in case any of our listeners have similar queries in mind, I'm sure they find the answers in the responses that you've just given out. So thank you so much, Rajivji, for all your time and for being a part of MeraSangeet.com here.
Always a pleasure. And to everyone who's listening, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, Rajivji. And that was a very informative conversation with eminent lawyer Mr. Rajiv S Khanna. Washington DC से हमें हर हफ्ते ज्वाइन इन करते हैं. अगर आपके जहन में कोई सवाल है, पहुंचाएं जरूर बेझिझक kanwal@merasangeet.com पर. Have a great day and stay tuned in with us on your favorite podcasts on merasangeet.com.